Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages. Like, share, and subscribe. This podcast is sponsored by the following. Remington, made with pride in the USA. Iconic American impact. Wenig custom gun stocks. Head on down for your custom fitting. Remember, winners shoot Wenig. Shot Tracker, like having a coach on your barrel. For more info, go to takeaimtech.com. Life is too short to miss. RM Shooting Clinics, helping shooters from coast to coast. Have Ricky take your game to the next level. Zach Nannini at Northwestern Mutual. Trusted advice from someone you know. We believe in putting people first. Other supporters for Trap Talk. The Nevada State Trapshooting Association. Don't miss their 75th annual state shoot this October in Las Vegas. The NSTA puts on some great shoots, and they're going big for this year's state. Go to nvtrap.com to check out their program and all other shoots as well. The Utah State Trapshooting Association would like to invite you to the 109th annual state shoot this June 21st to the 25th at the Vernal Rod and Gun Club. Vernal holds the Western Grand, among other great shoots, and throws a world-class target. RV camping and fun side events make this a state shoot that you don't want to miss. More info at utahtrap.com. Welcome to another episode of Trap Talk. I'm your host, Zach Nannini, and I have Richard Marshall Jr., my co-host, here today, live from, you're in Iowa, right, Rick?
Yep. We're down at the Cedar Falls Gun Club in Cedar Falls, Iowa.
Awesome. So I know you were just at Wisconsin. Before we get into anything, recap everyone on kind of what happened over there. How'd you shoot? Who was the stars?
Great shoot. They throw an awesome shoot. They had 1,700 plus shooters in the all around. So, that was a good for All-American points for people chasing the All-American team. Scores were high. There was hundreds in every handicap. I think there was a couple in Wednesday's handicap, and then one Thursday, one Friday, and one Sunday. I didn't shoot real good the first day. Missed 3 doubles, 5 handicap, and 3 singles. And then, but my son finally beat me in the doubles. He broke 98 that first day, and I broke 97. And he sure let me know about that. That was his first time beating me in doubles. And,
wow.
So that was cool for him. He won junior that day. And then the next day I had an issue. I had a selector spring break on my gun. So I pulled out my backup receiver and missed 11 out of the next 800 with it. But I ended up, I broke 100 in the Thursday's doubles, class doubles, and was tied with Ditto, carried over, I think, Ray Lee Bishop and Keith Ditto broke all 300 doubles there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I broke the doubles on the class doubles and the championship doubles. Tyler actually broke his highest double score ever in the class. He broke 99 and won junior for that. And then the championship doubles, he had 97, but our whole squad, myself, Jason Krause from Nebraska, Wyatt Debris, Tyler Marshall, and Justin Debris, we all broke the back 50 in the doubles.
Yeah, I seen that on Facebook and on Snapchat. I seen, I think it was the first person I seen it was Wyatt. He had it on his story, and I seen it, and I'm like, that's really cool. I don't think I've ever been on a back 50 or 50 out of 50 on everyone on a squad in doubles before. I know,
Yep.
I remember shooting like 248, 249, but not a 250. I mean, that was your first time doing that, Rick?
Yeah, that was my first time in 35 plus years of shooting. So that was cool. Wyatt won a lot of the sub junior events. I think about every one. One of the coolest parts of it was, so Wyatt's little brother Barrett is shooting now, and Barrett and Wyatt tied in one of the handicaps for sub junior champion, and they had to shoot off, and they both broke 24 the first round. And then Wyatt broke 24 again and won, beat Barrett. But it was a cool shoot off for them. And then the doubles championship, there was, I think, 7 of us that broke hundreds. And I went out after the 4th round, didn't get anything there. And then the singles championship, there was 7 of us non-residents. Tyler Buchanan from Wisconsin broke a lone 200 in state. And then 7 of us shot off. And after 3 rounds, it was down to me and Dagan. And he took junior gold and I took champ. And so that was cool. And then the handicap, Dagan broke an 8. I had a 6 for 396. He had a 398. He won the all around. I don't know about in state for that. I really didn't check that out. I know Ditto had a 395 in. I did buy him in the, special event. So we did well there. But Dagan won that outright. But there was a lone 100 in out of state, a junior that broke a lone 100. But Dagan won everything else. Dagan broke a 1090 out of 1100 and a 398.
He killed it.
Oh yeah, Dagan's been shooting lights out. Great kid. I was just fortunate to get runner up in the all around. Breaking 396. I knew Ditto had a 395 in, and Ditto had a 398 in, and I missed 3 out of the first 13 in the handicap. So it was a
That's
grind.
not a bad finish then.
No, I was happy. So
well, that's good. That's good. So and I don't like to speak too much on behalf of someone that's not on the show, but I mean, with Dagan shooting as good as he is, I mean, what do you think he's doing differently right now that's just stepping him up?
That I don't know. I mean, he's young. He's got young eyes.
Reflexes.
He's got the drive. He's got the reflexes. And in there, the Voigtman family is just a great family. We'll we'll have to have him on again.
For sure.
And it's quite funny. Hey, listen, it's quite funny. We're doing the podcast. He's calling me right now. So I'm just going to text him and real quick, folks, and just say that I was on a podcast. But yeah, Dagan's here at Iowa. I mean, Iowa here, they're giving away $10,000. If you break 100 straight, shoot. If there's multiple, shoot off on Sunday for the 10 grand. So I think it's going to be a big shoot. That's a plus. So, these shoots are, this is back-to-back for me again. This will be my, I think, 6th shoot of the year as far as All-American points,
Yeah. So, no, for sure. I'm heading out in the morning, so I'm excited to get down there with you guys, and maybe we'll record some.
Have you ever shot here?
I've shot there a long time ago. So
I thought it was a long time ago, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I shot there. It's been the last time I shot the Iowa State shoot was on my way to the Grand back in like 2008 or 9 when I was making the junior team. I actually stayed with Craig Hart. So he said, hey, I drove over with Sean Hawley. This was a kind of a funny story.
Oh, that's right. I heard this story.
Yeah. So I, at the time I was just getting my learner's permit. I didn't even have it. And Sean's like, hey, you can ride with me all the way, to the Grand or to Iowa and everything, but you need to help drive. And so I think I was, 15 or 16 at the time. I get my learner's permit and I'm rolling, and Sean's like, you'll be fine. No big deal. My mom and dad, my mom, she was kind of freaking out. She's like, you're going to drive a trailer and you don't even really drive. And I'm like, no big deal. So, Sean, I just hopped in with him and started driving across the country, and we got to talk and we laughed and we talked a lot about trap shooting, and that's where I really got to know him. And we stayed, I think at a, some camp stop, maybe it was like that Cabela's, in Sydney or something like that. We stopped off and pulled off. And then when I got to Iowa, I stayed with Craig, and he let me stay in his bus on the couch. And I'll never forget, he's like, Zach, you've always got a place to stay if you need it. Don't ever worry about that. They were, at the time, I'm just a kid, I'm barely got 6 nickels in my pocket, and I'm trying to get to these trap shoots, and everybody was very helpful with that. They, they
Yeah.
gave their time, they gave their energy, and and me and Sean talked a lot about trap shooting on that talk. Obviously, he probably got tired of me talking. I talk too much, but we had a fun time for sure.
Yeah.
So it's
Nice.
been since then since I went. So I've
Okay.
I don't even remember there was our steakhouse. I hear that it's closed down, but there used to be a steakhouse right by the gun club where you'd grab your own steaks and put them on the grill, and you
That was north. That was in Janesville. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's closed down because we used to go up there. Nothing like cooking your own steak. Having an adult beverage.
Yeah, no, we had that. It was I believe it was Shane Naylor. He took me there, and
Yep.
we went and had these steaks, and they were these porterhouses, and they threw them on, and I thought that was kind of cool. It was like American hibachi, just a 22-ounce porterhouse thrown on a grill. There you go. They throw you a roll, and it was a good time. But
yeah, Iowa steak shoot. I mean, I've been coming here. I think I missed the 1 year COVID year, and but I've been coming here since I was a junior shooter. And their camping has gotten better and better. They got great 50 amp on every spot. It's kind of tough to get a campus spot, but
I bet.
It's a great time. Now who are you hoteling it or are you staying with old ZB?
No, I'm in a hotel in town. I didn't
Okay.
even look which one I'm at. Honestly, I just booked it, and it wasn't the one of the cancel. I think it's like the Comfort Inn or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I when I can stay with my friends, I really like to do that. But now Zach's, he's got his full family rolling around with him and everything. So, I don't always have room for me. But
yeah, you get thrown to the wolves. That's okay.
That's okay. Not the first time, won't be the last time. So we did have some questions come into the show. A lot about the All-American team and how do you make it? Where do you start? What do you do? And I thought, obviously you've been on your run here for the last few months and being the captain several times, you know what it takes to make the All-American team. And I just wanted to kind of ask if someone's wanting to make it and they haven't made it before, where would you start? Like, what do you think you would look at?
Well, I have a different mentality than some, but I've been on it 32 times out of the 35 years I've shot. The 3 years I missed there was we didn't have junior gold, or I would have been on junior gold. Junior, and literally for 3 years there, I tried to make the men's team, but it was a lot smaller and a lot heftier competition. Honestly, I mean they only took 10 or 12 or whatever, but I always tell everybody, number one, I mean, to make the team, you got to win. You got to, break some scores. Now, the way the team's formatted, the requirements, it takes the top 3 scores in your category. So if you're a sub-junior shooter out there that's wanting to make the All-American team, basically you break one of the top 3 scores in your category, and you're going to get points. Now, every state shoot is the last 1,300 targets, and every satellite grand is every basically event thrown in this. I think it's 7 days.
7 days.
Whatever it is now, So you have to, everything up to the championship events is like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you never get into the 1 point usually, but 5 for champion, 4 for runner up, and 3 for third place. Now, if you're in the category, you're tied with, for champion with hundreds. Well, whoever wins champion gets 5. The second 100 would get 4. And then the third, the 3 would go to the 99, and then the 2 would go to the 98.
Correct.
So you're always the top 3 scores, okay, no matter what, in your category. So basically, go to the shoots that has the biggest attendance if you want to accumulate the biggest points. Now, and that is, it's just my opinion. I think it hurts some of the smaller shoots because they don't get the attendance to come to,
Of course.
And that I think something there needs to be a fair way to do it. I don't know if there is though, because how do you throw out a multiplier and say, okay, well, this shoot had 5 of the top All-Americans at it, but there was only 600 shooters in the all-around. It's a 2 or a 3, where this shoot ended up being a 6, but there was only 3 top All-Americans there, which is not going to happen. But it basically goes on numbers. So
100%. And I pulled up some of the numbers. It looks like 300 up to 300 entries is a 2.
Yeah.
It's going to be 301 to 600 is going to be a 3. 601 to 1100 is going to be a 4. 1100 to 1600 is a 5. 1601 to 2200 is a 6. And then 2201 or more is a 7. Now, nothing from what I read, nothing is going to be higher than a 7 other than the Grand America.
The Grand Prelims is
an
8, and the main Grand is a 10.
Correct. So, looking at this from a planning standpoint, and I made the All-American team when I was a kid, and, there was different ways to make it, obviously, and there was different places that you wanted to make. I think if you're going to be the captain, then you've got to go against the best shooters at the biggest shoots, and you've got to win. You've got to shoot, 1, 2, or 3 score. You've got to go to your high comp factors, and you've got to build that up. I mean, to be captain of any of the categories or the open, I think that's what it takes. But that being said, there is something to be said about people, going where there isn't as much competition. And I think a lot of people are doing that sometimes. I think, there are some people that, if you've never made the team and you're trying, and the goal is making the team, especially for a category shooter, I think you have to be cognizant of looking at, well, do I want to go to a place where I know everybody's going to be there? Or do I want to go someplace where I could get some points and make the team? Now, I'm always been the favor of you go where the competition is and you get better. That's kind of where my head's always been.
That's how I grew up was, and now to make the team, you break a score. Okay. Winning the champion event, you're shooting off. Yeah. But no matter what, you're getting points.
Bingo.
If you break one of the top 3 scores. Back up before this new deal, it's been 5 years, 6 years,
roughly
7 years. I don't remember. Before that,
trophies.
It was trophies. You had to win a trophy. Now, that's when I went to every shoot when the top shooters were there. Why? You win a trophy, they don't get the points.
Exactly. And now they did have tie points. If you tied for that trophy, you got something, but the trophy points were much, much higher. And at the time, I was going to shoots to block people. I mean, I'd go in and I'd win trophies and take them, and I'd basically take those points off the market. And that's where you could really create some distance between you and the next person. I'd say the downside of that, though, was all of these clubs and shoots were starting to put more and more trophies in, first, second, third, fourth. I mean, I'd seen some places that were going 5 down on trophies because they wanted
fine. I think that's fine to do, because for what it's cost us to shoot, they ought to give away some decent trophies. I mean, I've owned a sporting course and club, and I know the cost relation and all that, but I think this, just like I said, my opinion for all the listeners out there, number one, practice, okay, and set a plan, set some goals. Goals are the most important thing. Set goals, and then say, okay, I want to go this shoot, this shoot, this shoot. Does it have to be the biggest shoots? No. The Grand American decides a lot too with the points there.
100%.
Like for me, I usually go, my shooting routine is always like the Autumn Grand is usually my first shoot of the target year. And then the Spring Grand. And then it would be the Southern Grand, okay, in Florida. And then I would go to like Missouri State shoot, and then Vernal, and then PA, Ohio, Wisconsin, Iowa, the Grand,
the Heartland,
the Cardinal Classic, And then the Heartland Grand. You can't ever forget Stockdale Gun Club.
Yeah.
It's usually the last shoot of the year, and that is a great. I mean, Dale throws just a great shoot.
I don't miss that shoot. That's probably my favorite shoot of the year. It's the most fun satellite grand, I think. And Dale does a good job of getting targets in the air. What I will say is, I mean, you listed off, I didn't count them, Rick, but it sound like 12, 13 shoots. I mean, that you're going
it's
to.
about, you got the Autumn, Spring, Southern, Vernal, PA, Ohio, Wisconsin, Iowa, the Grand, and then Cardinal, about 11, 12 shoots.
And if you add Missouri, then you're 12, then you add, anything like that.
Yes. Which this year was a little different, as you know, because you and I went to the Autumn.
Yeah.
And
you can go to Spring because of Dubai.
Well, Dubai, yeah. And then I didn't go to the Southern because we went to Arizona State because we had some target testing going on with White Flyer on the new targets we got coming out. And then I threw my back out there. So I actually missed that whole shoot. It was fortunate I did that for students because I taught a lot of lessons down there and helped a lot of people. So they were happy. I mean, and I kind of made it up in my mind this year that I was taking, we were doing a little different stuff with the podcast, with going to Dubai. So things were changing a little bit. I wasn't going to be able to hit all the shoots. And then, Missouri moved their shoot and right on Memorial Weekend. So I couldn't, make it to that one.
If I can move it wherever you don't come every year and I don't have to mess with you, then I'm okay with that.
It's okay.
Stay out of my loose spots. But that being said, Rick, you mentioned, okay, you go to all these shoots. The way I understand it, you can only use 7 shoots towards your so whether you go to 10, 15, 20 shoots or
20,
you only get to use your 7. So,
now hold on, let me back up here. And the Grand American and the prelims are considered one shoot. Even though it's 2 separate overalls, prelim overall, the main overall, then you got the 2200 overall. It's one shoot counted.
And I think that's a good way to do it because it gives people an incentive to come shoot the whole grand. I mean, and I think that's the one shoot every year where I could really boost up my numbers and move up the team if you do a good job. Now, if you shoot crappy, then you're going to get bypassed by a lot of people. I mean, I like the fact that the satellite grands, every event counts Monday through Sunday. So for me, I'm always looking at satellite grands. I'm looking at high point factors. For the state shoots, I think it's better that they're doing, the 1,300 targets from Wednesday to Sunday. I think it's better that they're doing more individual events. An example, one of the things we did at Missouri to help points was we got rid of the 200 class singles on Thursday and we turned the class singles into 100 singles and then added a doubles event because now we've got an extra event for people to get points at. If you have these, 200 bird singles, you're pretty much, cutting an event out of the week. And I mean, I'm not a big fan of shooting the 200 singles on the class anyway, other than at the Grand. I mean, I like doing it at the Grand, for the nostalgia's sake, but other than that, I think 200 singles on Saturday is enough for anyone.
Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah, the singles are, it's a different deal. I mean, I don't mind shooting them, but it is a lot,
100 singles is enough. I mean, I'll shoot 100 singles every day. It doesn't bother me, but those 200 single birds days, especially when they add a handicap afterwards, which I know Missouri did. I mean, it's a long day.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of that, in my opinion. Shoot your 200 singles, and that's, you want to throw other targets, throw them earlier on, because and I get clubs are trying to benefit off this, but like for me, if it's me, I'm shooting the 200 singles. I'm not shooting that handicap. Now, is that handicap in the overall?
Which one?
The one on Saturday singles.
Well, there isn't on Saturday singles. It was Thursday singles before, and I think it was.
Yeah,
it was. But now we got rid of that because looking at the program, I think state shoots need to recognize you've got 1,300 birds that you can throw, no matter how you do it. And if you throw 200 bird events, that eats up a pointable event for an All-American to come in and get points. So, I like having the singles, doubles, handicap programs. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I guess. And then at Stockdale's, what's good about him is he's throwing 300 birds a day till Saturday. So he's got 3 events Monday through Friday, and then he's got 2 events on Saturday, and then he's even got 2 events on Sunday. So there's a ton of pointable events. If somebody wants to come in and have a lot of chances to hit points,
yeah.
Hey,
waiting on that nice bottle.
That's my little honey hole up there. I love that place. Okay. So, and you can miss as many years as you want, Ricky. You don't have to come.
Oh no, I'll be there this year. I'm shooting everything.
I know we're shooting together. I'm gonna have to deal with your big ass all week long. Right. Now, the other thing that needed some clarification: satellite grands, everybody from every state, but state shoots, the points are in state and out of state, correct?
Yeah.
So that's for people to understand. If you're shooting your state shoot, you're only dealing with your shooters. You're not dealing with with others.
Yeah, no, in-state and out-of-state points. The only way it's open is satellite grands, and that stuff. That's all,
satellite grands, zone shoots. Grand America, obviously, all open.
The Cardinal Classic,
any of the fall handicap, any shoots that are not state shoots are going to be open to all states if they qualify. Yes. And then your state shoots are going to be in state, out of state.
Yep. Correct.
And then your factor is going to be based on your points.
The number of entries. The factor is based on the number of entries in the all around. So your singles, handicap, doubles combined. So like Wisconsin, we had like 700 single shooters up there. So your largest shoots are PA is usually number 1 or 2. Ohio's number 1 or number 2. This year it went PA, then Ohio. Wisconsin will probably be number 3, unless Iowa has a huge influx. Iowa's usually number 4. And then it usually goes Missouri is number 5, as far as state
attendance.
Yeah. Now your spring grand's always your largest satellite. And then it's usually the southern and then the autumn. So that's why I say I like to hit the top ones. I want to go where everybody's going for me.
I think that the Heartland is starting to step up into that size though. It's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah. And Dale's, I think he put in another trap or 2.
That's what I heard.
I'll see him. I haven't seen him here yet. We got in here Sunday night, so I was going to talk to Dale. We're going to have him on the podcast after the Grand, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's going to the Hall of Fame. So he says he doesn't want to jinx anything. So he's going to wait until after he physically gets in before he talks with us. But yeah, we'd love to have Dale on because he's a wealth of knowledge and information.
Absolutely. His family, everything is just, they've been involved with shooting forever, so great guy.
So Rick, is there anything else that you would give as advice? Cause that's a good place for people to start. But is there anything else that you think is important?
I would say just, have a journal, write down your goals, have a plan, okay, I want to go to this shoot and this is what I want to accomplish. Now, if it's a new shoot, you never been to that club, go there, shoot some practice, watch targets, walk around, ask questions. Is these banks better than these banks? If anybody's got any questions they're going to a shoot, hit me up, send it to the show, whatever, or hit me up directly. My number's available on the internet. And, you got a question about a shoot. Maybe I've been there, maybe I haven't. And I could surely get you with someone that probably has been there. And that helps out a lot. I wasn't fortunate enough when I was a kid to have, this technology. I just went to places. And so,
and that's kind of how it was at the beginning of my shooting journey. You didn't really have a lot of super high end tech. I mean, we didn't have iPhones or anything like that. You weren't able to look
No.
up the scores the way we're looking it up now and see everything instantaneously. I mean, it was
Exactly.
it was a pain. But that just kind of shows how good we've got it now, and
Yep.
how quick information travels. It, it I think that people, if they're wanting to make the All-American team, set the goal, plan your shoots. I would say you want to get 7 in if you can try to get that done. So you give yourself the best opportunity, at least
If you can
7.
try.
Try to get that. Now, obviously, there's people that make it, like we had Keith Ditto on, and he said he made it on 5 shoots every year. Well, the better you shoot, the less shoots you need to go to make the team. But if you want to give yourself the best opportunity, I think planning 7 shoots. I think shooting the overalls is very helpful because you get the most.
And
I
will say this is, don't go and worry about making the team. Okay, set that goal to make the All-American team if that's one of your goals. But go and shoot and have fun. And if you shoot and have fun, you're gonna get points. You're gonna shoot better. But don't go out there and say, I got to make the All-American. I got to make the All-American team. The last couple of years I've been captain. The 2 years ago was probably the biggest grind, going into the Cardinal Classic, 16 points ahead of Keith Ditto, and going okay, and I popped 100 in one of the handicaps, and there's a lot of money there, so I was fortunate to do that and gained a little leeway. But like last year, I had a little bigger spread over Keith and Chris Vendel, and I went in the Cardinal just to shoot. And that's what I do every shoot. Do I want to get points? Yes. But do I stand out there and no, I'm out there to break 100 in every event. And if I don't, I don't.
And that's a good mentality that I think we need to spend a second on. I think there's so many people that, they think, I want to get a sponsorship, or I want to be involved. I want to make the All-American team. I want to do all these things, right? And they put all this pressure on their shoulders. Exactly. And if you haven't done it yet, it becomes so overwhelming. And at the end of the day, I would say, focus on breaking, those top 3 scores. I mean, for me, something that keeps me really honest, especially in the singles, is okay, I want to go out and I want to break a top 3 score every time I shoot, regardless. And I want to, be able to do that. But I'm not putting that pressure on. I'm just wanting to shoot good. I'm working on, am I doing the right things in this event? You go back to process, and then you just let it happen. Whenever I thought to myself, okay, I got to get these points, I usually mess in the last post, especially if I was kind of on the teeter-totter between 98 and 97.
I remember.
You've seen it, right? You're like, hey, what the heck are you doing? And I'm like, well, I was worried about that. And you're like, don't think about that, right? Like, don't miss a target because you're worried about what you're going to get. And I can remember it as clear as day. The first time I missed, I was razor thin close to having a 99 average in singles for the year. And I went out and I shot the last 100 singles, and I didn't need to shoot it because I was already had the 99 average and I was already done. And it was at the Heartland Grand. It was the first time I went to the Heartland Grand, I think, Rick. And it was that farewell singles on Sunday. And I knew that if I broke a 97 or better, I had my 99 average. And so I went out there, and the whole time I was thinking, man, I got to break a 97 in singles and keep this thing. Sure as crap, I shot a 96, and I had a 98, 98.99, 98.98 on the year.
I've been there. I did that one year.
And I was just like, the whole event, I'd been shooting. I hadn't missed a singles target. I mean, I was killing them in singles. And that event, I just thought to myself, okay, you got to hit. And it became a challenge. And I couldn't get through it. And once I missed that 4th bird, I ran like the back 40, like it was nothing. Cause I was like, oh, well, these are, singles, right? But in the beginning, I was bleeding out my throat. I couldn't control the bleeding. I was just all over the place. And I think whenever you get so excited about something that you want it so bad, you mess it up.
And that's why I think for everybody out there, people that are trying to make the team for the first time or their second, third, fourth, whatever it might be, just enjoy it. it's great to see. I mean, we see everybody the same faces every shoot, and it's a great time. But just have fun,
Enjoy the
if
ride.
you enjoy it, shoot, and you'll shoot good. Don't worry about getting those All-American points. Just go out and shoot to win, and you'll be fine. So
Yeah, I think that's a good message for the audience, the listeners. It's just go have a good time, travel, go to new places. And if you kind of make it, you make it, but you're not in a position where you have to say, I'm going to add all this extra pressure to my plate
Yeah.
and make it hard.
Exactly.
You don't have to make it
Just
hard.
shoot,
I mean, just make it
fun.
fun and go, get your group of guys together, hit the road, start traveling with your squad. I mean, heck, the funnest part of shooting for me is shooting with my squads of people. I know you're one of my squads. Zach Bryant's one of my squads. And it's just, I get to hang out with my boys again this week and we get to shoot and do stuff. So it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing you all this week when I come down there. I know we're going to shoot some content down in Iowa for next week, which will be a lot of fun. And I wish you good luck shooting. I know you're shooting
We're just shooting the doubles today. And then who knows?
Well, I'm gonna ask you the next time we record how the doubles went today. So hopefully you put a number on them. Okay.
Hopefully we'll see what happens. So.
All right, Rick. Well, is there anything we're missing here?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you giving us the time and your insight as always. I do want to thank the show sponsors, Remington, Wenig, Shot Tracker, and obviously RM Shooting Clinics, the one and only. Zach Nannini here. If you need an advisor anytime, anywhere, give me a call. But it's been a fun one, and we look forward to doing this again next Friday. So have a great day.
See you.
Thanks for tuning in to Trap Talk.